Have you gotten your daily hit of motivation? Have you read enough inspirational quotes? Did you watch enough David Goggins videos today? Probably not, because you're a fucking addict. I'm sorry for coming off so aggressive. What I'm talking about today is what I call the motivation industry, and I don't like it. And what this is companies, people online, influencers in the fitness, weight loss, wellness space that offer a lot of, let's say, motivation and inspiration rather than something that's actually helpful, like systems, real advice. They prey on people that I call motivation addicts and just keep feeding them these kind of good feelings. Oh, yeah, you're totally going to lose weight. Yes, we're doing it. We're losing weight, all this stuff. They just keep on hyping up the addicts, essentially, without actually saying anything of substance, as in what to do, how to do it, any kind of habits you should adopt, any kind of time frames that are reasonable for any of this stuff. Whether it's losing fat, building muscle, building up your stamina, anything like that. This is such a huge problem, especially online. There's a lot of people, they love these short-term fixes. They want things now, even if it means just having the feeling right now. This is something that the motivation industry is taking advantage of. What they've done is created a bunch of products and online posts and videos that they make money from that are basically not actually helpful. Perfect example is all these channels who just spam quotes from philosophers, from David Goggins. I have no problem with these philosophers or David Goggins themselves. They've done a lot of shit. They're good. My beef is not with them. My issue is with people who they essentially steal the authority from those people, make it pretty on a post or add some cool music to it that makes you feel hype, and they get you in the mood to improve, but not actually telling you what you can do to reach that. For example, a lot of people, they want to lose weight, get fit. It's a very common goal. So the motivation addicts will go to David Goggins' quotes, all this stuff, like all these other people saying the same shit. If you want the goal, you have to put in the work. It doesn't matter if you don't want to do it. You have to put in the work. Now, listen, that's true. Do not get me wrong. That shit is true. What I'm saying is these people, these channels, these companies are going to say the same fucking thing. If you don't do this, you're weak. You have to do it. You have to put in the work. If you want it, you have to go for it. They're going to say that, but they will never say, hey, if you want to build muscle, you should be lifting weights about maybe 2 to 4 times a week. 3 to 4 repetitions. 3 to 4 sets of maybe 8 to 12 repetitions. Make sure you're hitting all your muscle groups 2 to 3 times a week. Something like that. Something concrete that would actually be helpful for people. They're not going to do that. You're never going to hear that shit from these people in the motivation industry. These motivation dealers. You're only going to hear, oh, I was a fat, lazy piece of shit, but then I got badass and I got fit. If you don't get fit, you're a fat fucking loser. You're only going to hear that. You're not going to hear, hey, so if you want to lose weight, you actually got to find out how many calories your body needs. Eat at about 300, 700 calories. Under that every day. Go for a while. You lose maybe a pound a week or something like that. Go for some months and you lose weight. You're not going to hear that shit. Because that's not as sexy as saying, hey, you got to do this shit. I'm badass. You got to copy me. You got to do this shit. I'm selling you this motivation. I want you to feel good so you can keep coming back to my channel. Keep coming back for me saying you got to be badass every day. Because people love that shit. They think, these addicts, they're watching these videos. They think, oh man, I'm in a better mindset than most people, which is true. Fair enough. But that's all it is. It's, oh, I'm in a better mindset. I'm motivated to do this shit. Yeah. Then, it comes time to actually do the thing that will get you to the goal you want to get to. And it doesn't happen because motivation doesn't last. And motivation is not for achieving goals. What does help you with your goals are habits, systems, discipline. And I'm not saying motivation is not helpful or important. It can definitely be the spark that gets you going. You can definitely see something on the internet that was like, oh man, that's so badass. I want to do that too. And then it kicks off your journey. That can happen 100%. But not everyone's like that. A lot of people are just addicts to motivational content. They just consume that for hours instead of actually doing whatever it is that they want to accomplish. And because the motivational content is delivered in such a way that makes them feel hype, or it comes from a person who's actually done some stuff. They feel like, oh man, I'm connected to this person or this idea or this feeling, this intent. I'm basically there. I'm basically 50% there. As soon as I stand up, I'm already better than most people. I'm almost there. I just gotta do it. But yeah, man, I'm totally there. That's not enough. And most people who suffer from this are people who want to lose weight, been suffering for quite a long time, and they think, oh man, if I just take on this mindset, I'm just gonna magically lose weight because I'm just super badass. It doesn't work like that. Same for people who are into fitness. They just, oh, I'm motivated. I'm gonna go to the fucking gym. I'm gonna do push-ups, all this shit. Awesome. Yes. Then they never do it, or they just stop after one day because the motivation ran out. It's especially hard on people who are new to fitness or weight loss because they don't know. They don't know what it actually takes to do this stuff. They don't know how long it takes to actually develop a fit body or develop a habit that will keep you sustainably losing weight. They don't know. So they're just going to take all these people at their word, all these posts at their word, all these companies selling you motivation at their word. And since motivation is temporary, when they fail, it hits them extra hard because they thought it was going to be easier than it is. And this is especially bad because most people want these fixes immediately. So it's going to hit them extra hard very quickly. And of course, people with low self-esteem suffer quite a bit too. They think, oh, I'm not as badass as what this post is implying, so I'm a piece of shit. Now, that may be true. They may be a lazy piece of shit. But it's not because they don't embody this post, this person, this influencer, this company. It's because they're not taking actual steps to get towards their goal. They're just, oh man, yeah, give me that motivation injection. Yeah, get that hype hit. Oh yeah, I feel great. Instead of actually seeking out what to do. And the thing is, the people in the motivation industry, they deal to motivation addicts in many different ways. In the previous episode, I talked about fad diets, and that's part of it. For example, I'm gonna, as I like to do a shit on the carnivore diet, there are many people online, men on steroids mostly, who are thinking, man, I'm badass. I used to be a pussy-ass vegan. They started eating 4 steaks every fucking day. Now I'm badass. I'm manly as shit. You need to get on carnivore because they'll make you lose weight. All this shit, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, yeah, man, manly shit, caveman shit. Yeah, I'm motivated. Let me eat some steak. Let me eat all that fucking extra saturated fat. Because this guy in Royd said so. This applies to many things. Oh yeah, we get on. Once I got on the paleo diet, my life changed. Blah blah blah. Now sometimes some of this stuff actually can help in a way, but more like finding out what was in their previous diet that was fucking them up. So doing kind of an elimination process can be helpful in some situations. So I'm not shitting necessarily on every single diet that exists. What I'm saying is, if someone is pushing a labeled diet really hard, be skeptical, because what they want you to do is use that label as a rallying flag to be hyped for them and their content or their product or whatever it is. You don't have to necessarily hop on ketogenic diets or anything like that. Just understand that if people who are pushing a certain diet don't go into actual detail on how they're getting these results, they're probably bullshitting you and just trying to hype you up so you can get on their side and in their pocket. Now, let's say there's some carnivore guy. He's like, hey, so my goal is extreme muscle gain, and eating a lot of meat gives me a shit ton of protein. And I'm doing a healthy bulk of about 300 extra calories per day, getting in a couple of vegetables, fruits every now and then to supplement that, but I'm going really hardcore. I'm going to stop later when I get to the certain muscle size because I'm trying to chill out on the fucking saturated fats later on. This is temporary. I've been seeing great results with it. I'd be like, okay, that's reasonable, man. As long as you don't stay on that for the rest of your life, that sounds like a real cool for your goal. But if someone starts leaving out a lot of details, just getting you hype, be wary. That's all I'm saying. And I gotta say, in terms of the motivation industry, I cannot think of a bigger fucking culprit than just New Year's resolutions. Horrible. The second half of December is fucking horrible and so fucking insidious, in my opinion. Because they prey on people's guilt from eating a lot during Thanksgiving, eating a lot during Christmas. So that last week of December is just completely fucked, saying, hey man, you're fat as shit. You saw your family. That was a bad thing because you were a fat piece of shit. I want you to get into the gym. We're going to change our lives in January. just get into the gym, change your life. That's it. No other details, of course. Just starting the gym on January 1st. Go. And then motivation takes a lot of people. Takes a lot of their time away too. Now, again, there are some people who this initial motivation, this initial spark is really helpful. They're like, oh, I'm getting in. Okay, I understand this is going to be tough. I'm pushing through, building these habits at the beginning till they become easier, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what these motivation dealers want necessarily. They just want to get you hyped to do something that's not very specific. So you can just run with that hype feeling. Feel good in the moment, attribute that good feeling to them. And then when you fail, it's your fault, of course. It is your fault, but what I'm saying is they could have helped you as they were motivating you, but they didn't. And they want you to fail so they can come back and help you out with whatever they're selling. That's how the cycle is. It's really fucked. Imagine this. St. Patrick's Day, everyone gets drunk as shit. Let's say April Fool's Day was also, just like New Year's Day is the mark of a new year, it's also people changing their lives with fitness usually. Let's say April Fool's Day was also the start of getting sober. So imagine like the last week of March, saw all these advertisements about getting sober in April. Yeah, you feel like a piece of shit for drinking on St. Patrick's Day, right? You drunk fuck. Get ready to get sober on fucking April. Let's go. Now, drinking is retarded, but utilizing guilt in advertising is suspicious sometimes. I'll say that. Unless it's tough love in a way, but this isn't what it would be in this scenario. This is just saying, hey, I know what you did because I know what the calendar is like. And on this day, I'm going to say, hey, I want to get you motivated to get sober without giving you any information about that whatsoever. Just get sober, bro. We're all going to get sober. I'm motivating you. Buy my Get Sober for April shirt. But what would be helpful is saying, hey, so with these types of addictions, these are the kinds of mental changes that you need to be seeing. These are the kind of habits that can cement these changes. You need to change how you view yourself as a person. You need to change this action. You need to change why you even want to do this action to begin with. Blah, blah, all this like psychological stuff that would actually be helpful. That shit would not be mentioned for 1 single second. Because in the motivation industry, they just want you to be excited for it. But to actually accomplish it, that's not their fucking problem. Who cares? Figure that shit out yourself. Even better if you don't figure it out. You fail, you come back to them. It's fine. I really fucking hope no one steals my idea of getting sober for April and doing that shit. That'd be fucking horrible. I do hope people, they do get sober, but I don't want the marketing to be that way. It's just gonna be a yearly, just like the New Year's thing. Like just like everyone getting fat, then everyone trying to get fit and failing. It'd be the same thing. Everyone getting drunk as shit and getting sober for 2 days and then failing. It's just, let's not do that. Let's just work on things the way they're supposed to go. Because here's the thing. According to a study, participants who were self-motivated were more likely to lose weight than those who were motivated by external factors. That means if it comes from within, from discipline, from actual reasoning, you're more likely to lose weight and keep it off than being blasted with hype, getting pumped up by someone else, something else. That's temporary. Here's the really fucking interesting thing. Motivation has a shelf life. And you know what it is? It's about 4 weeks. At least for weight loss. At least according to this study. After 4 weeks, the positive motivation just starts to decline rapidly. Which means if you just stick with it for 5 weeks, you have a way better chance of actually building the discipline in those habits. But if you're running purely on motivation, it's not going to go that way necessarily. And behind New Year's resolutions, probably the biggest way to exploit the motivation addicts is to take advantage of their FOMO, their fear of missing out. They're thinking, hey, all these people are getting cool and taking up this mindset that you're not taking up because you're a loser. You want to be like them. Join on in. Join on the hype, on the motivation. Let's go get motivated together. It'd be cool if we could get disciplined together. So you're missing out. When you're scared of missing out, you oftentimes don't need or want whatever it is you're missing out on. You're just worried about being left out. It's more of a fear of loneliness, to be honest. I would advise most people to get over that and remember that the goal is for you. It's always for you, so you have to put in that effort to build those habits. Build the discipline. You have to do this stuff. Here's the thing. Motivation is when you feel like doing something cool. Discipline is when you do something helpful and cool when you don't feel like it. When the feeling is gone, long gone, that's when you still have to do it. There's a great example of the difference between motivation and discipline, ironically gotten inspired from David Goggins' book. I think. I'm pretty sure it's from there. But anyway, David Goggins is a huge runner, so this fits anyway. Basically, with motivation, let's say someone wants to start running outside. They want to start jogging, whatever. Someone who's running on motivation, they'll get their shoes on, they'll get ready to run, they open the door, and it's snowing. It's really cold. A bit frosty out there. They're like, my motivation's gone. Maybe tomorrow when it's not snowing. I don't know. This is not counting the fact that running on slippery stuff is not great. Obviously, if it's like shoveled away, then run away, of course. But with motivation, the person's desire to actually do it drops significantly. Now, let's take the same person and give them discipline instead. They put on their shoes, they get ready to run, they open the door, they see it's a bit frosty, it's snowing a bit, it's really cold. Now, in their head, instead of motivation being in there being a cheerleader and then losing their energy because it's snowing, in their head, they just hear another voice that says, we're going. And then just do it because they said they had to do it. That is the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is a feeling, discipline is a habit. It's a mindset that you have to build. If you run on motivation, you run on fumes. So a couple things to help with building motivation is to be realistic with your goals. If you start off with the dumbest shit possible, you're not gonna make it because it's gonna result in you being as disappointed as these people running on just motivation. If you're thinking, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in 2 days, that's not gonna work. I don't care how much you want it. Unless you get lipo, it's not gonna happen. Not in a healthy way anyway. So you gotta set these goals to be much smaller, much more doable. Because here's the thing, once you reach this small achievable goal, you can set a new one. And that new one can be a bit harder. So just build your way. Eventually you will get to that big goal that you really want, but just set smaller ones now. Just take that first fucking step now. And that applies with the habits that you build to get to that goal. You can't just adopt a wild habit overnight or multiple. You can't just say, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, throwing out every single food I've ever liked, and I'm going to the gym 5 times a week. I'm starting tomorrow. You're going to, if you can survive that, you are built different in a way that it's surprising you haven't done this before. But for the vast majority of people, that shit's not going to last more than 20 minutes. Start with the smaller sustainable things, because if you slowly work it into your life, it'll be easy. It'll just be a part of your life, not a gigantic shift. Instead of throwing out all that food, replace some. Instead of going to the gym 5 times a week, go once. Instead of waking up at 5, try half an hour beforehand. Go for a jog in the morning or something with that time. I don't know. But just take it slow. If you make these smaller changes, they won't disrupt your life so much. And then it's easier to adapt them into your daily habits. Then over time, you'll look back and you'll notice there's a humongous shift. But if you make that humongous shift right away, you're not that person yet. You have to grow into being that person first. And that's going to take time. So do that. Take your time. Also, big with these people in the motivation industry, I mentioned many times that they don't provide many details on how to become this super cool, muscular, stoic caveman who's godlike. Look for steps. Look for literally what is the first fucking step that you can do. If you can't find that, go to another source. If you can't find something that you can actually implement, like today or tomorrow, look for a different source. They're just blowing smoke up your ass, telling you how badass you are, how badass you can be. That's nice of them, but it's not going to be helpful. Figure out what to actually fucking do so that you know what you have to start with. But yeah, fuck the motivation industry. Fuck all these YouTube channels posting 50,000 videos of David Goggins talking. Fuck them posting these quotes from philosophers, from books they have not read. Fuck them posting all these extremely condescending speeches to no one from businessmen. Just stop. Just stop. If it sparks you to start, cool. But you need to move on to an actual game plan after that. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. Leave your favorite David Goggins quote as a comment. Mine is, fuck you. He probably said that sometime, right? Anyway, I'll see you next time.